Welcome to my channel. My name is Mark Neese. I'm a psychotherapist who loves hiking, and today I'm out hiking in Bernheim Forest. It's cold and snowy, and I just love hiking in these conditions. Today I'm talking about blind spots. What are they? What are some examples? And how do you figure out what blind spots you have and how to do something about it? So stay with me and learn about blind spots.
Your blind spots can become a Death Star for your relationships. Hello, my name is Mark Neese. Welcome to my channel. This channel is dedicated to the body-mind connection, so we spend time talking about mental health issues and health issues. I just did a video on the body-mind connection. It's entitled How to Heal Your Mind, and we do that in part by taking care of our body. So today we're talking about blind spots. These are super important to understand. It's not a technical word. We're going to talk about what blind spots are in just a minute. But if you're having problems in a relationship, if you're having problems just navigating life, sometimes it's because of your blind spots. So stay tuned with me. I'm going to have 3 or 4 little segments. One's going to be a little bit longer. The other 2 are going to be shorter. So stay with me. And I hope you find out a little bit about your blind spots. What are blind spots? Well, basically, they're just things about yourself that you don't see, that other people do see, and they're typically annoying. Now, they can be really serious blind spots like racism or bigotry. Those are, people have blind spots in those areas and they don't see them. Pretty serious, but it can also just be like a quirk. And a quirk can be something, maybe just a little bit about your personality, how you were raised. Did you come from a large family or a small family? You typically would have different kind of blind spots. But they're quite often make a relationship a poor fit, at least initially. They're things that you typically don't see at first, and then later you start seeing them in let's say your partner or somebody that works for you. They typically don't show those blind spots. They get good at hiding them, and they put on a different kind of a persona. We'll talk about that in a different video. But blind spots are things that can really destroy relationships or end them. And that's what, when couples go to counseling, that's typically what they work on. They look at, they can't figure out why it's not working, and a therapist can help walk them through those blind spots. Oftentimes, couples that don't need therapy, they've kind of figured them out for themselves. They have worked on them, they've talked about them, help identify each other's blind spots, and then from there they start working on them. So stuff that you have to work on. Could be a quirk, could be something super serious like bigotry, racism. So it's important to work on these things. And I guess I would say, what's your motivation? Well, how about having good, healthy, enjoyable relationships with the people that you want to be with? Because it can even destroy friendships. People just get tired of it. It's a little bit like the guy who's always telling jokes at inappropriate times. I mean, it's not like, it's a lack of sensitivity. It's a lack of social skills. Sometimes that's what blind spots can be. So we're going to look at some examples. I've got two major categories of examples, and I'll share those with you in just a bit. Stay with me. What are some examples of blind spots? I utilize a communication strategy that teaches that we speak from one of three ego states: parent, adult, and child. And this is called transactional analysis. When we are speaking out of that parent ego state, we sound like a parent. We're teaching, we're giving advice, we're managing people's lives. And with children and teenagers, well, not so much teenagers, but children for sure, that's all well and good. But we don't want to sound that way when we're talking to our peers, when our partners, our workmates, friends. Nobody, no adult wants you to be their parent. Now, there are some, and I'll talk about those in the child ego state. So, nobody wants unsolicited advice. It's a subtle form of disapproval. Nobody wants you managing them. I don't. I'm an adult and I want to manage my own life. I don't want anybody teaching me about finances or teaching me how to invest my money. I've got people that I ask that and pay them for that. If I want to learn something, I'll look it up on the internet. So nobody likes that. And that's where our blind spots come in, because we do that and we don't realize we're doing it, and it drives people crazy. The other ego state that oftentimes those things come from, the blind spots, is the child ego state. And in that child ego state, they don't want to manage their life. They don't want to take care of themselves. They want other people managing their lives. Get them up, and to make their food, and to clean their clothes, and to do the kind of thing. They don't recognize. Some of them do, and they're fine with it. But a lot of people don't realize, in more subtle ways, they want you to manage their life. And their lives are typically pretty unstable. Relationships are unstable, emotionally unstable, work is unstable. That's a child, right? And they're reactive. They're very emotionally reactive. Now, again, people are in and out of that child ego state. They want to blame people for something that happened to them. And so, but they don't recognize it. So this is where the blind spots come in. I want to speak just very, very briefly on the adult ego state. Generally speaking, it's one that speaks to people like they're your peer. I remember an interview that they did with Norman Lear many years ago, and the interviewer asked him, "Why do you always seem so young?" And his response was, "I treat everyone like my peer." Wow. That's the way that that's the ego state that we typically should be working out of. It's one that's sets, its purpose is somewhat to solve problems and to grow and to get stronger. That's the adult ego state. All right, so we've talked about blind spots coming out of the parent and the child ego states, sounding like a parent, sounding like a child, and not knowing it. What do we do about it? And that's what how do we find out what we've got, and what do we do about it? That's what we're talking about next. How does one find out what their blind spots are? And there's 3, maybe 4 really quick points I'm going to make. The last point is important, but the first point is have the courage and willingness to ask yourself, do I have blind spots, and where are they? You just have to be open. You have to start with a little bit of courage, realizing that you're not perfect. Nobody is. We all make mistakes. So the first step, simply put, is ask yourself, is it me? Am I the one with the problem in this relationship? The second point is kind of a follow through on that. And the second point is looking for pinched nerves. Where does it hurt? Do your relationships hurt? Are you having problems at work with your peers? Maybe friendships? You seem things feel awkward. People seem irritable around you. I'm just going to suggest that maybe those are the areas that you need to start working on and start asking yourself, what are my blind spots? I've mentioned a few in the earlier episode, talking like a parent, acting like a bratty child, lots and lots of others. Can't go into all of them here, of course. So ask yourself the question, is it me? And then second, where are the pinched nerves? Third, if you feel comfortable and you've got a relationship where there's some pain, then ask them, what's going on? What am I doing? Is there something that I'm doing that is contributing to this pain? And if they care about you and you care about your relationship, then you'll listen. And usually that kind of stuff is communicated through good relationships. And so if you've got a good partner or friendship that you feel comfortable, say, hey, is it me? Am I the one that's bringing about this pain or causing some of it? And then the last point is maybe go see a therapist. I would say most therapists are probably pretty good at picking up on blind spots. You can tell them what's going on, and they're going to maybe make some suggestions. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And so then listen. So then what do? If you uncover or you shine the light on a blind spot, this is probably the simplest part of this video. I'm going to give a little pause. Just stop doing it. Don't do it. If you're talking down to people, stop it. If you're giving advice, stop it. If you sound judgy, stop it. If you're trying to manage other people's lives, stop it. In that earlier example I gave early in the video, if you're constantly joking around, you can't get serious, stop it. All right, there we go. Well, that's it. That's the video on blind spots. I hope I kept you through this all the way. And I'm going to wrap things up, finish up this trail. And so I'll see you on the next video. Happy trails.